You know, my heart goes out to new parents because it is just hard to know what's going on or what the right thing to do is sometimes. I remember when my son was about, I want to say about 2. So he wasn't real verbal when he was little, and there was a time we put him down to bed, and he had a little tiny teddy bear. I mean, on him, it was probably it's probably like that, but it was a little tiny teddy bear. He still has it actually, named Teddy, and Teddy was his companion. He'd take Teddy to bed every night. He'd get Teddy up in the morning. He'd feed Teddy breakfast. There was a night we put him down to bed. Of course, he had Teddy with him. We did the nighttime routine, the songs and the prayers and everything. Put him in there to go to bed with his sisters. They shared a room and then left for the night. About 20, 30 minutes later, he starts to cry. So I really want to sit down. I don't know if, oh, yeah, we can do that. And you know, about 20, 30 minutes later, and he's crying. So concerned parents, we run in there, see what the matter is. You know, hey bud, what's wrong, buddy? What's going on? You know, he's got a little tear-stained face, and we're trying to figure out what's going on. Can't find anything wrong. He seems to be okay. He calms down once we're there. We reassure him and then leave the room. 10, 15 minutes later, he starts crying again. We run in again, you know. This wasn't a fluke. There's something going on, you know. So then we're investigating a little more thoroughly, but we still can't find anything wrong. He quiets down once we get in there. And we don't know. We don't know what's going on. And we're reassuring him some more, you know, giving him some extra love, whatever, putting him back down to bed. 10, 15 minutes later, he's crying again. And this pattern repeated, I don't know how many times throughout the evening. Every 10 or 15 minutes, he would cry. And then we'd go get him and check on him, and he'd quiet back down again. And we cycled through, you know, being really reassuring to being more stern. Don't judge. You don't know. You don't know. You know, we cycled through these things, and one of the times that it happened, I went in there and I was like, we gotta do a more thorough evaluation here. We feel like we've been thorough, but we know what. And I went to take Teddy, and I pulled on Teddy, and Teddy wouldn't come away. My son's hand moved with the bear, and then I was like, why, you know, let go, bud. But he wouldn't, and so we took him out in the living room to see what was going on. Then I realized, so Teddy had a little ribbon around his neck, and my son had put his finger up in that ribbon and twisted and twisted and twisted and twisted, his little 2-year-old nervous habit, whatever, falling asleep there, twisting. And he had twisted a tourniquet onto his finger. He couldn't get it off. He didn't know how to untwist it. His poor finger. I felt so bad when I figured out what was going on. His poor little finger was a swollen little bulb of a fingertip. We had to cut that ribbon off to get it off of his finger, and then be real gentle with that finger, massage that circulation back into it, and then he was fine. All was well. And we we were so sad when we figured out what was going on, and we were like, buddy, you've got to tell us. You know, I remember this conversation, trying to tell him, and again, he wasn't very verbal back then, but I was trying to encourage him. I was like, you've got to tell Daddy what's wrong. I said, even just hold up your hand, hold the bear up and go, you know, something. You got to help Daddy help you. And he just looked at us with his big wide eyes. We put him back to bed. Everything was fine. But I remember that. I remember not knowing what the problem was. Don't be shocked if you find yourself in spots in life, in pain, and you're not exactly sure why. You don't know what to do to fix it. You've got some ideas what's wrong, but you can't navigate the whole situation. It's too messy. That is the time to call people that love you, to call your mom and daddy and just talk, just share. I don't know how much pain we keep to ourselves because we are afraid that we will look dumb, that we will explain something and it will not come out correctly. You've got to connect with someone that loves you and share the problem. I think of my own limitations as a father, as someone who was unable to understand the problem, who didn't know. how to fix it. And I am grateful that my limitations are not at all shared by my Heavenly Father. And that when I have a problem, I can go to Him and I don't even have to know what to say. I don't have to know the words. I don't have to be able to articulate the problem. But I can go and I can explain and I can show and I can talk about the hurt, and He is there for me. So if you find yourself in the middle of a difficult time and you haven't talked to the Lord yet, I would encourage you to find comfort in the gospel, the good news of Jesus Christ, and the Heavenly Father that loves you. You don't have to know what to say, because He already understands everything about the situation better than you could anyway. And that is something I have always taken great comfort in, that God knows me better than I know myself. I'm unable to hide anything from Him. And you new parents out there, God bless you. This too shall pass, and dare I say, you will miss these moments before long. That's my thought for today. Do with it what you will.